to the little library tour that I've been doing. Just in case you haven't seen any of the other ones, we're moving house soon, and I've been trying to go through the shelves and give you an idea of kind of how they've been categorised and stuff, and then when we move I'll show you whatever they look like there. And I've totally lost track of where we are, but we're now over on this side, and up on this top shelf we have books on religion, and underneath we have some children's fiction and sort of YA and some fantasy and stuff like that. And I didn't really know what to do with the top one, just because it's mainly there's like commentaries and concordances and things. So I thought I'd just show you some of the highlights and some of the interesting ones that we have here. And yeah, I've got them down ready to show. First up we have a Queen's Silver Jubilee King James Bible, which is a bit of a family heirloom. It's like my mother-in-law's Bible that now belongs to us because the print is too small for her to read. And it's a kind of tea-stained old Bible that I think she got for 25p in a charity shop. And then we have another King James Bible in a very fetching pink, because what house is not complete without a King James Bible? And then just a couple of other interesting ones from the top shelf, just because I don't really know how much I could say about all of them and whether it would be interesting. If you think it would be interesting to go through the rest of the books on this shelf, please let me know. But this is like a commentary on the books of Ephesians, Philippians and Colossians by Barnes. I haven't actually read this, it was just a gift. What's his full name? The Reverend Albert Barnes. But I'll try and get it up close just so you can see the kind of texture of the cover. I think it's very cool. It's almost out of Lord of the Rings. So there's that, and then another book that seems to turn up on a lot of people's bookshelves, it seems, is Fox's Book of Martyrs, which I haven't actually read yet, but is just one of those books that I've seen everywhere and was curious. So that's that. And then yeah, I'm going to try and move on and get kind of quickly through this shelf, which is a mix of children's fiction and YA, and there's also some fantasy and things like that in there. Maybe I'll try and get some of these looser books done first, if I can get them out. So I'll start with this one. This is from a little series thing that I had as a kid, a Dragonology series. There's another one somewhere on another shelf. This is called Bringing Up Baby Dragons, and it's like a like a little mock-up if dragons were real. This would be how you would care for your little baby dragons, with these fun little interactive illustrations and things like that. It's even got a little sticker with my name on it there, with a little dog and sunglasses, from when I stuck that on many a year ago. And then we have this book called Captain Rosalie, which is that how you say it?
Rosalie, I
Rosalie,
think.
okay. Jasmine's behind the camera for emotional support and for fact checking. And yeah, I think it's like a cute kind of kids picture book, but more advanced than a picture book, I suppose.
Yeah, it's got some beautiful drawings in it, but it's basically about a little girl processing the death of her father during the war.
Yeah,
Finding out.
very cute little book. And then the next one we'll bring up is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. Which again is a very beautiful little illustrated book. Let's see if I can find some nice pages. I think that's one of my favourite pictures in the whole thing. Yeah, it's just got these lovely little quotes in it, like most of the old moles I know wish they had listened less to their fears and more to their dreams. It's kind of got this little handwritten thing that's quite cute, although sometimes it's a bit hard to read. But yeah, just one of those books that lots of people seem to be finding nice and comforting, and it's nice, you know, if you're reading lots of heavy stuff to chill out with. And then I'll try and go quickly, just kind of tell you what we have up here, maybe not pull them all out. But we have a massive pile of L.M. Montgomery here, more or less, if you can see it, almost all of this stack, with the exception of like 3 books, are all L.M. Montgomery. So we have the Blythes Are Quoted, which I think is sort of the last books. It's kind of finishing off the whole story with Anne of Green Gables and her family and everything that goes afterwards, and the complete chronicles of Avonlea, which I think are like short stories about the island and island life. This is not L.M. Montgomery. This is Lucy Strange's Our Castle by the Sea. What was that about, Jasmine?
It's about 2 sisters who live in a lighthouse, and their parents are German, I think, or one of their parents is German during the war, so there's lots of suspicion, and their mum is like taken away, and it's how they cope and kind of redeem themselves.
Good stuff.
Very good.
And then there's like all of the Anne of Green Gables books. We have Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea, Anne of the Island, Anne of
Windy Willows,
Anne's House of Dreams, Anne of Ingleside, Rainbow Valley,
Rilla of Ingleside.
Rilla of Ingleside. Is that Marilla as a kid?
No.
No?
It's Anne's youngest daughter.
Oh, it's named
Marilla.
after Marilla.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then we have some John Green there. There's Paper Towns and Turtles All the Way Down. I've read Turtles All the Way Down and I thought it was okay. I think I like John Green more as a person than as a writer, it's turning out. But then also tucked away in there, I won't get it out because everything's on top of it, but is The Blue Castle by L.M. Montgomery, which is one of her non-Anne of Green Gables books about a spinster who, because of a mix-up with a doctor's note, thinks she's going to die and decides to actually live for herself for a change, and it's very affirming and kind of sad but good book.
It's one of my favourite books, and I lent it to Aaron very early on in our friendship, and he liked it, so that kind of made me feel like, right, I can like you because you like some of the same things that are important to me.
And then, we have some cool stuff on this one. We have Dodie Smith's I Capture the Castle, which I really enjoyed.
A very cool cover as well.
Some more Dodie Smith. We have Starlight Barking, which is the sequel to 101 Dalmatians. 101 Dalmatians we do have, but
it's on the bedside table.
Oh, it's on the bedside table. Then we have some of Lamb's Tales from Shakespeare, which is pretty cool. Nice old copy. We have Pollyanna by Ellen H. Porter. And then we have some Nancy Drew mysteries here. I have A Little Princess, which I think Jasmine said was the first book that made her cry.
Yeah, not many books make me cry, but Little Princess did.
There's Wind in the Willows, The Treasure of the Snow, we have Greyfriars Bobby, Winnie the Pooh.
Very important on your bookshelf to have Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I think everyone needs Winnie the Pooh, really.
Yeah.
Paul Galicio's Jenny, is that how you say his name, or Gallico?
I think it's Gallico. I don't actually know, because I've only ever seen it written.
About a boy who turns into a cat. Another Patricia St. John book, don't know what that is.
Where the River Runs, maybe?
Where the River Runs, okay. We have The Little Prince, we have Lewis Carroll, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass, in 2 different editions, because one was my old one and one was Jasmine's old one, and we both like them both so much. Then we have National Velvet by Enid Bagnall. What's that about?
National Velvet is about a poor girl who somehow acquires a horse and disguises herself as a jockey and competes with this horse.
Nice.
Who is called Velvet and wins the Nationals.
That makes a lot of sense.
The name.
Then there's Olga Moves House by Michael Bond.
Olga is a guinea pig. Her full name is Olga Dipoga, and she is quite a snobbish guinea pig who lives in a house with a black cat called Noel, and it's her life viewed by her It is a very funny children's book. It's like one in the middle of a series. I've never read the other ones, but
Cool.
we loved Olga de Polga growing up.
And then we just have The Guest Cat by Takashi Hiraide, and a little children's story anthology. And then we have some other stuff. It's got like the Children's Pilgrim's Progress in it. It did have the Grown-ups Pilgrim's Progress, but I don't know.
Oh, I put that in a box.
That's been packed. I'll just move. Do you want to move the camera? We've already started packing, so the pressure's on to get the rest of the bookshelves all finished, so we can pack up the rest of the books. So yeah, I think that's probably it for the non-fantasy books.
Round the corner.
Around the corner. Yeah, I'll go here, and then there.
Sensible.
Sorry?
Sensible.
Yeah. So we have C.S. Lewis. This is the Cosmic Trilogy, which I think now are sort of known as the Space Trilogy, but it has Out of the Silent Planet, Paralandra, and That Hideous Strength. I think I've only ever read Out of the Silent Planet, the first book. I think Lewis intended that you could actually read any of them and it wouldn't matter too much. But yeah, here they are all together. And this is kind of like nostalgic. This is the same edition that like my dad had, and so that I read when I was a kid. Then we have Drake Stoker Dracul by J.D. Barker, which is, I don't know, I guess like mixing his own fiction in with how Dracula was written. I haven't actually read this, it was a gift, but yeah, I don't know whether it's going to ruin Dracula for me or not yet, so I'm a bit tentative. So if you've read it, let me know. Then we have some Neil Gaiman. We have The Ocean at the End of the Lane, which I seem to remember being quite nice, but I actually can't remember a lot about it, except for a weird thing with the corpse.
Yeah, that might be where we differ. I read it and really didn't like it. Sorry,
Yeah.
Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, so yeah,
Just not my taste.
I think it had some nice sort of that kind of childhood nostalgia vibe to it, is what I remember mainly from it. But that might be just like the first 5 pages.
Probably.
And then we have Stardust, fairy tale for adults, classic.
Very good.
Can't go wrong with Stardust. And then we have Wildwood, which I absolutely love, by Colin Malloy and Carson Ellis. So Colin Malloy wrote it and his wife Carson Ellis did the artwork, and it's just a super cool middle grade sort of fantasy adventure book set in the woods outside Portland, Oregon, and there are like talking owls and weird coyotes and all sorts of really cool things. I'm going to try and find an illustration just so you can... Oh yeah, there's one of the main characters riding an eagle or something, which is quite cool. But yeah, I quite like Carson Ellis's illustration style.
And you have like a long distance love affair with Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, Portland, Oregon. And then we have Lord of the Rings, this is also my parents' copy of the trilogy, and I read them when I was a kid, and they got so beat up that they had to get new editions, and I inherited the old beat up editions. The Silmarillion, which I still haven't read.
It's good.
Yeah, I need to read the Silmarillion at some point. And the story of Clervo, I think it's called. I suppose it's like one of those leftover things that they've probably hobbled together from his notes just to make more money. I haven't read it, but
it's
have you read
quite
it?
dark.
Quite dark.
I got it as a present.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, it does look weird and dark from the cover, doesn't it?
It's very sad. There's no redemption at the end. They all just die.
Great.
Sorry. You kind of know that from the first page though, so it's not really a spoiler.
Looking forward to that. And then my old beaten up childhood copy of The Hobbit, which, yeah, has probably been through all kinds of weather. Look how happy and nostalgic. This illustration of Hobbiton is so nice. Yeah, it's absolutely fallen to bits, this, but yeah, there it is. I had a bookmark of Browser's Bookshop, which is a local bookshop from where I grew up. And then we just have 3 more books with Aragon by Christopher Paolini, like a movie tie-in cover with, oh wow, it's like quite weird, the illustrations in the middle.
Stills from the movie.
Yeah, but they're like on weird angles with this weird blue frame. It's weird.
Yeah, I still haven't read that. That's my copy.
No, yeah, I never read it. Quite like the film when I was a kid. And then there's Lucy's Home for Girls Raised by Wolves, short story collection by Karen Russell, which I don't really know much about, but I haven't read yet. And
I read one of them. It was very strange, but I think you'd probably like it in that vein.
And then we just have Diana Wynne Jones' Howl's Moving Castle, which is a classic, very fun.
It's very funny, especially if you live in Wales, because it just a lot of it makes so much more, like, there's so much more poignancy for the Welsh bits.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably the most we can get at for those. Maybe some of the ones that we missed or ones that we talked about but didn't actually get out. Maybe I'll try and show a bit more in the future, maybe when we reorganise the books, so they'll be easier to get at. But that's, yeah, kind of quick tour of those 2 shelves. We'll be into the non-fiction next time, yeah, try and get into more detail with the non-fiction, although it's a bit of a mix of stuff, and then we'll be nearly done. But yeah, that's that for now. Big thank you for Jasmine for explaining the books that maybe I didn't know much about. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.